Greetings, everybody. How you doing today? Hope that you're doing well. There you go, right there. There you go, right there. So look, I don't know how well you can hear me, but if you can hear me, definitely hit something in the chat for me. Hit something in the chat for me. But anyway, today I just got to be talking to a very good friend of mine, Grandmaster Stephen Gerard Smith out of Mississippi, the most wistful John G. Jones, Grand Lodge, California. Boy, the conversation was off the chain. We had a heck of a conversation. We had one heck of a conversation. Today, we had two types of conversation. And I can't accept phone calls, but boy, if I could, this is going to be hot. So the first conversation was this. Brothers who have different volumes of sacred law on the altar, he said that they was irregular because it says that the Holy Bible, the Square, and the Compass are the three great lights in Freemasonry. You pick up any Masonic rituals, and it may have that in there. I disagreed and said that the volume of sacred law. He said, well, the Masonry he practiced, and according to their standards, it must have the Holy Bible, the Square, and the Compass. I said, great, I got it. Totally understand that. I said, well, how would you consider a brother or Mason who doesn't have that on their altar? Let's say they have another book, a holy book on the altar. He said, well, it would be irregular practice according to them. I said, but if Masonry is universal, how can that be? He said, because their standards said it must hold or must have a Holy Bible, the Square, and the Compass. So we went back and forth with that. And I'm just trying to get an opinion. It is no right or wrong in it because he clearly says that out of due respect to the craft that they may practice, that's what they practice. And he will respect that because that's what they practice. I clearly said that, look, if Masonry is universal, and this is what we say it is, then a Masonic lodge or jurisdiction that may want to hold another book of faith upon their altar, they have that right to do so and to be treated with dignity and respect as Freemasons, to be accepted wherever they go. That's my opinion. And we discussed that. We really kind of agreed to disagree in a sense as far as that was concerned, because he said that, hey, the type of Mason I practice is what I learned from the beginning, even when, because I brought him in and I raised him. So when he's dug in, he's dug in. And I have to respect that. That's just who he is. And I love him for it. So let's have that clear understanding. And then our second topic was that I said we was talking in regards to we was talking in regards to can Masonry make a good man better? Can Freemasonry make a good man better? I said it couldn't. And we got to talking, and he gonna tell me, oh, because that's fucked up. He said, oh, you got a fucked up way of attitude or something like that. But anyway, I'm saying to myself, I get it. I know how most of you feel. You know, you've always been told that Masonry makes a good man better. This is what you've been told. And you believe that because you've always been told that. But how many of you who are Masons still do some fucked up shit? Be honest with yourself. Don't criticize me. I'm just saying, if Masonry makes a good man better than the things that you were doing when, you know, after you became a Mason, you would no longer do those things. You said, you know what, because of my practice as a Freemasonry and the tenets of my profession and the things that I swore to and made my obligation to, I wouldn't do them anymore. That would be the mainframe. But Masonry don't do that. It doesn't. What Masonry do, and this is my own opinion, like I told him, this is what Masonry do. Masonry says, look, you're already a good man. Because what happens is when you go interview a person, be it a Mason or Eastern Star, but when you go interview them, they should already have an established life. They should already have a job, be working, taking care of their family. They should already be somewhat of a pillar in the community. They should already be on that road. That's where they should be on. That's the truth. You're not going to go interview someone who's unemployed, who can't take care of their family, who's not doing anything with their life. They're not eligible to become a Mason. When you may be saying, well, who are you to say that? I'm saying that based upon the fact that in Freemasonry, you have an obligation. You have an obligation to be able to pay your dues and to assist the poor and distressed, widows and orphans. It takes money to do that. So therefore, when you become a Mason, you must already be financially stable. Okay? I'm not saying along the way you don't have problems. I'm just saying when you become a Mason, you should be already financially stable. Your foundation should be already squared and laid and plumb. It should already be that. So when you do that interview with those brothers or sisters who interview you to become an Eastern Star or a Mason, and they come to your home, things should be already in order. This is just my personal opinion. Some may differ and say that's not necessarily true, but I'm telling you, based upon reality, you're already supposed to be a good man when you're looking to become a Mason. Because the only thing that Masonry do for other men is to teach them how to be Masons. That's all we do. We teach them how to be Masons. You're already a good man. During your interview process, you shouldn't have a felony, and you shouldn't be a rapist, a murderer, a person who committed treason. You shouldn't be any of those things. I'm not saying that people don't deserve a second chance. I'm saying in the long run, on that interview, you shouldn't be those things. That's just clear. You know, greetings to everybody who's coming on. As always, blessings to you and your family. But today's topic is, can Masonry make a good man a better? And I'd like to see what you got in the chat. You know, I'm clearly, my thing on this is I'm clearly saying that Masonry does not make a good man a better man. We can agree to disagree. I'm not going to fall out with anybody. It's just an opinion. You know, I never fall out with people based on opinions. You know, I'm talking, now if we're going to fall out based upon facts, that's different. But this is an opinion. Because the quote says, Masonry makes a good man a better man. And I need someone to help me to understand, how does Masonry do that when you're supposed to already be a good man in the process of becoming a Mason? Masonry should already be in your heart first. And if it's there first, then you're already a good man. Correct? I mean, somebody can correct me if they're wrong. If I'm wrong, hit the chat button, hit the like button, let me know. Because I'm trying to get a better understanding of this quote that we have all fell in love with, including myself. You know, but sometimes you have to take a step back and look at things. First of all, if you're going to look at the total history of Freemasonry, the Holy Bible wasn't always on the altar of Freemasonry. It wasn't until it reached the shores of America that became such. And with any due respect to anybody in Masonic Lodge, if you choose to have that on your altar, then so more it be. Great. And the same thing would apply to other brothers of the craft and lodges and jurisdiction who choose not to have it. Who am I to say that you're not a Mason? Who am I to say that you're not a Mason much more than I am? You may even hold more steadfast to your obligation than I do. You know, so when we look at Freemasonry, I'm not looking at it from a religious point of view at all. Most people like to. They like to bring religion into Freemasonry, you know, but Freemasonry does not accept a man based upon his religious beliefs. It does not. You who have become Masons, you who have been interviewed to be Masons, the only thing you require is to believe in a supreme being. That is one of the requirements. Okay. There's some more. You must be of age, legal age, in some jurisdictions. And legal age can be anywhere from 18 to 21 in some jurisdictions. Juris says 21, some say 18. But it's based upon your rules of your jurisdiction, your bylaws. And in this thing we call Freemasonry, although we have what you call those landmarks of Freemasonry, who was those landmarks made for? And you know as well as I know, those of you who practice Freemasonry, all jurisdictions do not abide by all those 25 landmarks. They do not. Because if they did, then there should be really only one Grand Lodge of State. I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Filipino, period. If you're truly going to abide by those bylaws, those landmarks, then everybody needs to close up shop. From Prince Hall to Masonry National to PHO, including some of the mainstream Grand Lodges. All of you need to close up shop if you're going to say one Grand Lodge of State. This is in the landmarks. Is it not? Somebody can hit me in the chat room and let me know. Because if you're telling me that, oh yeah, all of us need to abide by the landmarks, it says one group, just let it go. And let the old lodge rule. Because we know that there are some old Grand Lodges under the up under Prince Hall, PH, but some got to close up shop. You got to close up shop. Oh, you're going to say it takes 3 lodges to form a Grand Lodge. That did not come into play until 1920. Who made that rule? Go back and look at it. 1923, to be exact, is the rule for recognition. Is that according to England, see, according to England, the rule states if you want to be recognized by them, that you must hold the Holy Bible, the square and compass on your altar. You also must adhere to one Grand Lodge of State. Okay. Not only that, they said it takes 3 lodges to form a Grand Lodge. Okay, 3 regular lodges. Okay, to form that Grand Lodge. And you know as well as I know, brothers of the craft, that some of the Grand Lodges on the mainstream was not formed with 3 lodges. They were not. So they got to close up shop. They got to close up shop. You know, I look at Masonry as truly being a universal fraternity or society. You know, people talking about Brother Steve cracked me up. He said, I said, Brother Steve, what if you got a member that would travel outside of the country? Hawkins, ain't nobody traveling outside the country. Ain't nobody going nowhere. I only got about a couple of members that would actually travel out. I said, but what if? You never know. What if you want to travel to the Bahamas? What if you travel to someplace far several occasions? And when you meet a brother outside, do you consider him to be irregular and not a Mason? Based upon the way you practice Masonry? Because then to me, and it's just my opinion, all of these are the opinions, is that you're missing the essence of brotherly love, relief, and truth. How can I be your brother because you're upset at me because I have a different volume of sacred law? Oh, well, I respect you, but you don't consider me a Mason because I got a different volume of sacred law? Oh, okay, I get it now. You know, so my theory, my thinking is that is to show dignity and respect to all Masonic jurisdictions, because all of them practice Masonry somewhat differently than others. Some have a Quran on their altar, some have other books of faith on their altar. And who am I to say that that's not correct? Oh, but you practice Masonry here in the United States, and that's the way you practice. Get it? And there's nothing wrong with that. Especially if you've already said this is in your constitution, this is in your bylaws. And to me, when you do that, this is opinion only. You limit yourself to what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go. Because I can certainly say here in the United States, there are some lodges that when they open the Bible, they're not necessarily opening to where you may think it needs to open to. And if they do not, then what you going to say? If you go to a lodge and the Bible is not open according to the way you do it in your lodge meeting, but the compass in the square is properly placed, what do you say? Where do you go from there? Man, I wish I could take phone calls today, but I can't because I'm driving. and I got to keep my eyes on the road. But it's something to think about. You know, to me, this is one of those great topics that Masons need to have. Do Masonry make a good man better? Does it actually do that? Because there's some jacked up Freemasons. I mean, you're still doing the same stuff you was doing before you became a Mason. Period. Including myself. I'm no different. I'm still doing some of the same things I did when I became a Mason. You know, let the truth be told, a lot of us are still doing the same thing we did when we said we accept Christ as our Lord and Savior. I'm just being totally honest with the whole situation at hand. You know? And when you're honest yourself, you know, you ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't tripping on nobody. I'm saying do you, but in the wrong. You can't snap out. And keep it moving and respect other person's opinion. Because as we grow, opinion upon a lot of things have changed. You know? It really has. I was, you know, for years I thought one way. And then when time came and some other information was presented to me and I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay, I can accept that. You know, if you're going to go at it from this point of view, yeah, I get it. You know? So whose rules are you following? Are they your rules or somebody else's rules? Whose landmarks are you following? Because I can tell you right now, those 25 landmarks were not meant for you. Most of them were not meant for you, but a lot of them were. Like one Grand Lodge estate, that was meant for you. That one in particular, okay? Because everything else was irregular and clandestine. Or may I say clandestine as far as done in secret, done in hiding. And that's the way they considered Black Masons. All Black Masons, okay, was considered that way. Let's keep it 100%. All right? And in the Grand Lodge of Florida, mainstream Grand Lodge, in their bylaws right now, it says that you have to be a white man in order to be a Mason. I seen it for myself. It says that. Somebody need to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not saying that they don't have Black mans in there now, but I'm saying clearly right now, in their constitution, it says that in order for you to be a Mason, in mainstream Grand Lodge out of Florida, it says that you have to be a white Caucasian or white man. That's it. So are we really practicing Masonry? You know, are we really holding it up to the light, to the test? Or are we just playing with it? You know, are we formingling it? Are we saying, yeah, we Masons, but you ain't a real Mason because you don't have this or you're not doing that, so you're not a real Mason. You know, and yeah, and once upon a time, in my earlier days in Freemasonry, I was staunch about some things. I was like, oh no, it has to be this way. But as I started to venture out and see Masonry from a different perspective, my perspective had to change. It had to change. You know? I mean, this is my opinion based upon my travels in Masonry, based upon things that I've seen in Masonry. You know, it is a bit of a system veiled in allegories, uses signs and symbols to teach a language. It is. It's beautiful. But what happens when all of that, when you can't apply all of that? How does it look now? When you strip it back naked, how does it look now? Somebody need to talk back to me, because right now, it's crazy. This conversation I just had with Brother Steve, you know, it's crazy because he was passionate about it, and I get it. And I respect that. That's my brother. And I'm not going to let any type of disagreement set us aside because we disagree. No. He has his opinion, I have mine. You know? And this is where we're at. My thing is that we who are Masons, we who make that obligation or oath, you know, it doesn't say Jesus Christ in your obligation, does it? Go back and read your obligation, see if it says Jesus Christ. When you make that obligation in your oath. and then you holler back at me. Because the only thing that I see that says that they can make you better is religion. Religion claims that they can make you better. That's their job. Their job is to make you better. There's a personal point of view based upon going to the mosque, based upon going to the Catholic Church, based upon talking with people who are part of Jehovah's Witness, based upon going to a Presbyterian church, a Methodist church, based upon all of that, and they call themselves Christians. All of them do. Their job is to make you a better person. That's their job. And if you tell me that Freemasonry job is to make you a better person, then you put Freemasonry right there in line with religion. And then Freemasonry clearly says that it's not a religion. And if it's not a religion, then its job is not to make you better. Okay? Its job is to teach you Freemasonry. And if Freemasonry helps you in some parts of your life, then that's great. Then you are better in certain parts. I get that part. But in the beginning, no, it doesn't. You're already a good man. If you wasn't, you could not be chosen to be a Mason. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I know when I got the phone, Brother Steve gonna call me and curse me out. just, you know, that's him and I. That's our thing. That's my brother for life. That's no joke. I don't care what people may say about me to him or to him about me. No, it ain't gonna break that friendship up. I'm saying that publicly, so I don't want nobody to be out there saying or thinking, well, damn, you know, what's really going on? No, this is a conversation piece. One that probably needs to be had. But because some of you are so afraid of having honest conversations, it never get talked about. So my thing today to you, brothers of the craft and sisters of the order, can Freemasonry, in the Order of the Eastern Star, make you a better person? Can it? Maybe I need to start taking a survey on that. Maybe I need to do a survey on that. Greetings, everybody who's coming on. 24-hour gauge. Greetings, everyone. I'm sorry if I hadn't been able to look in the chat. You know, I'm just trying to be safe with it. We do, however, provide the tools. Yeah, you provide the tools, but check it out. If I'm already a good man, and you give me a 24-inch gauge and tell me why I should use it, and I'm already doing it, then what? If I'm already doing the things when you give me that 24-inch gauge, if I'm already doing it, then what? Because that's one of the reasons you chose me to. Correct? I'm already doing that. A good man already knows how to spend time with family, friends, loved ones, enough rest, get up and go to work. A good man already, a good man already knows that in order for him to get somewhere in life, he needs to treat the next person like he wants to be treated. A good man already knows that. All right? A good man already knows that in order for him to be successful in life, he must surround himself with successful people. A good man already knows that. A good man is already involved with the community. He's already doing it. Let the truth be told, a good man don't need masonry if you really look at it. However, the brotherly love, relief, and truth, when that comes into play, is a different aspect of Freemasonry where you be like, this is what I'm talking about right here. Brotherly love, relief, and truth. I've fallen on hard times in my life. My family is in crisis right now. I need a little assistance, true assistance. Right now, I've gotten to a point to where I can't do what I used to do. Now the brothers are coming to my aid, my assistance. So I got mishandled. The brothers are coming to my aid, my assistance, to see that I'm handled correctly. So that's where that all falls into play at. Oh, I didn't have my lights on. I couldn't drive, my lights was off. So a brother comes to your place, your in your space, and he assists you and aids you. Make sure your lights get turned back on. Come on now. Somebody talk back to me. You know, that's what I'm talking about right there. Let me see, where's this thing that I need to put on here? I'm sorry, I'm trying to hook my phone back up real quick. So yeah, that's where that comes into play at. But look, I've been on here for a little while, taking my little drive here. As always, I hope you've gotten some out of this. I hadn't been able to kind of read through the comments, but brother Steve gonna call me back. We're gonna finish this conversation. You know, he gonna see this, he gonna be like, Brother Hawkins, you know that wasn't right. I need to be on there with you. I'm like, yeah, probably wasn't right, bro, but let me tell you, that was a good topic. Can Freemasonry make a good man better? I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this. I'm gonna have to do that. Because as I said before, I don't think that Freemasonry can make a good man better. I just believe that you're already a good man when you apply yourself to be a Mason. I believe that you're already a good woman when you apply yourself to be an Eastern Star. You're already there. You know? So if you're already there, then let's apply it and see what comes up. Masonry is already in your heart. You know? I talked with a brother tools of Freemasonry and how he applied it in his life. I was like, when you go on with your bad self, brother never been initiated. Did Freemasonry help him to become a better man? It was already in his heart. Freemasonry may have given him the tools to strengthen himself as he progressed to be a better man, but he was already a good man in his heart. He was already taking care of his family. Those things he was already doing. You know, so look, with that being said, I hope that you have a great day. I hope all is going well for you and your family. And Brother Steve, you're going to have to give me a call back so we can finish this conversation because this is heated. It's a good conversation to have. And I would want you to have this conversation with someone in your jurisdiction just to see what their thoughts are. It's not to say that he's right or wrong, but let's just see where his thoughts is at. Unlike the Order of the Eastern Star, you cannot put another Bible on the altar of the Eastern Star. You can't. Now that sister may be able to take her obligation on another altar, another book of sacred law, but the Bible is going to always be on the altar of the Order of the Eastern Star. Plain and simple, always. Say what you want to say, do what you want to do. It's going to always be there. And that's just the way it is. You know, so you have to take that into consideration. That's what you have to do. You have to take that all in consideration. So I'm gonna go. I hope that you've been there. I hope you and have the conversation with somebody in your lodge and see what their thoughts are. Your thoughts shouldn't be my thoughts. Your ways shouldn't be my ways. Not at all. So until next time, peace and be well. And whatever you do, keep your light on and stay out the bushes. I'm out.